Greetings! You did not click on the tough questions that kindergartners ask with Mrs. Ruska, but instead you have clicked on St. Paul's podcast Beyond the Sermon. During this time, we will look beyond the words that our pastors have preached that are full of life. I am your host, Michael Sinn. And today I have Pastor Smith. Sorry, it's been a while since I've had you as a guest.
That's right. Yeah, I made Pastor Josh preach the last 2 Sundays. So.
Well, the time before that, he interviewed you.
That's right. Oh, yeah.
I don't think I've had you since All Saints Day.
Yeah.
Well,
it's been a while.
Nevertheless, can you tell the people Yasu?
Yasu.
Do you know what that one is?
That is...
It is a language you know how to read.
Wait, is it?
I think so.
Hebrew?
The other one.
Greek?
Yeah.
Oh. Hello doesn't come up in Koine Greek.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's usually greetings in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, right?
Yeah.
But yes, that is Greek. Yasu. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, honestly. Hopefully it's not a...
I'm sure someone will correct us.
Yeah. Well, and also another fun little fact about Pastor Smith that you may not know. He is the commissioner for the St. Paul Fantasy Football League. And, you know, I'm willing to bet that with him being the commissioner, he's probably at the top of the league in these playoff games
you would
right now.
You would think so. No, I did not make the playoffs in the St. Paul League this year. Neither Pastor Josh nor I. We both were pretty much toward the bottom of the league. Yeah, I do usually make the playoffs in that league, but not every year though.
Okay.
And I won one time. I won the league one time, but mostly the most common champions have actually been my dad and Manny Dill.
Oh.
I think he's won 3 times, and he's still going this year.
Okay.
So this is, there's 2 St. Paul leagues for the listeners. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're in the other one.
I am.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've made the playoffs.
You don't think? Well, the playoffs were this past weekend. So.
Well, I won.
Okay. It might have been I'll have to look. It might have been the consolation bracket.
Oh, maybe.
This would be killer radio to look this up live on the air. Well, we're not live, I guess. But
Yeah.
maybe someday we'll stream live to YouTube or something.
Oh, that's very dangerous.
Once we get to be a bigger deal.
Yeah, that's dangerous thinking there, Pastor. I'm not worried about you. I'm worried about what Pastor Josh might say live, where we can't edit it.
That is a fair worry. Yeah, you did not make the playoffs, but you did win in the consolation bracket.
Okay.
So. Hey, you had a respectable season though, just barely. You had a better record than the Browns. You're 6-8. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, so I think I was right there, like at 7th, and didn't make it to that.
That's solid. You're just barely on the cusp of making the playoffs, but just not quite. Yeah.
You know what? I'll take it with the first ever time doing fantasy football. So I'll take that win.
You can build on that. Yeah, certainly.
Well, are you ready to dive into the sermon that you preached?
I am ready.
All right. Well, I think a perfect place to begin and ask my first question is because if I remember correctly, your story illustration was at the beginning of your sermon, so I feel like this is a perfect place to ask for my first question from this podcast is what had you lead off with this illustration that you did? And my follow-up question to that is, why do you think not many people rose their hands during service in chapel? When you asked, has anyone ever been insecure before? There was not many hands.
Probably because they're insecure to put their hand up, I think that makes you feel insecure if the speaker or the preacher calls on you and then you have to participate. You're like, I feel out of place. I feel insecure. Or putting my hand. Maybe he'll call on me then, and then make me say something.
I did have my hand up during chapel, but I was in the way back with Honey, so I don't know if you saw that or not.
I don't think I clocked that, but yeah, okay. I'll go check out the recording.
Okay.
Yeah, just to make sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Honey didn't have her paw up though.
Okay. Well, she seems pretty secure. She's got good self-esteem.
I mean, she does. She could probably comfort herself.
If she ever felt insecure, she has the training something to alleviate that
Yeah.
feeling. Yeah.
So yeah, tell us about your illustration.
Well, I have to say, so the part of the text that I was really focusing on was how there was this promise that in Christ we will dwell secure. Mm-hmm. And so working backward from that, if that's the promise that we are to take from from the prophet Micah, that responds very nicely to any time I would feel insecure about things. And when I think of the word insecure, my mind immediately goes to teenagers. And it goes to my own experience as a teenager. Because you are just floating through life, kind of halfway between, in some ways you start to feel a little bit like an adult. You have more responsibilities, but you're also very much still a kid. And trying to find your place in the world, and how do I relate to my peers, and how do I fit in, and am I good enough? Do people like me? And I just remember living in constant fear that my friends, they're not gonna, they don't think I'm funny. Does that girl like me? Mm-hmm. Just always, I was just always worried, like, how do I rank in the lives of other people, what was it, MySpace that had the top 8? Did you have a MySpace?
I did have a MySpace.
Did you have MySpace? I think like you could have like your top 8 friends, and then like you would look at other people's and like you think, I thought I would be in their top 8 and I'm not, and it would be like crushing, like there's so many things that make you feel insecure.
Yeah. When you say that, like, you mean top 7? Because usually Tom was one of them. Yeah. So top 7, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. But I just remember just so many memories of being insecure flooded back to me, and so I tried to have a little bit of fun with, this kind of how to build a typical 14-year-old boy, insecure 14-year-old boy, and listed off some things from my own experience, and I saw some interesting interactions going on in the congregation as I was listing off those things, but figured that would be kind of a common ground for all the listeners to kind of be like, oh yeah, I have definitely felt insecure, whether I am currently a teenager or whether I remember back to that time, or even just right now. We have insecurities when maybe you're a new parent, or you've started a new job or something, and you're like, you just don't feel like you've got it all together, and you're always worried that you're going to be exposed, for not knowing what to do or not being the right way. And there's so many things that we make us feel insecure. So I felt like it was kind of preaching to me. Yeah.
And so anyway, the teenage thing was kind of just like a launching off point to get into then getting eventually to, okay, how does God make us dwell secure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So question number 2, besides having to live a past life of remember when it's like being a teenage boy, was there any other challenges when writing your sermon?
Yeah, the challenge for me this time, and I've mentioned that before, that sometimes the challenge is making the sermon a reasonable length with all the things that you want to say or that you could say. And this week was even more intense because at 2 of our services, we had the Sunday school Christmas program at 9:45. We had the praise team concert at 11 o'clock, and so it was really needing to be a shorter sermon. Mm-hmm. So it was a bit of a challenge, especially working with a text from the book of Micah. You can't, there's some books of the Bible you can just kind of say, it's from this book of the Bible, and everybody's kind of like, I have some familiarity with that book of the Bible.
Yeah.
Micah, not so much. No. So I was like, I took about maybe 90 seconds to frame what the situation was that Micah was preaching into. I could have done more though and developed that more. I guess, I kind of just felt like there was more depth that I could have gone into on a couple of things. So it was a bit challenging. I would like to do more with the context of Micah. I would like to do more with just exploring that, like, insecurities, like what other insecurities, especially like from the spiritual side, that we feel. Mm-hmm. And then maybe some specific insecurities that Jesus resolves for us.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, but it was just anytime you gotta. Well, it's kind of funny because my sermon ended up being about 15 minutes, which is, I think for a lot of Lutheran pastors, 15 minutes is the target. It's just that hasn't really been my target.
Yeah.
Because I think I've mentioned it even on this podcast. One of my professors of homiletics, which is preaching class in seminary, he said, "Oh, if you're doing 15 minutes, that's just like a devotion."
What?
Yeah, that's what his joke was. Like you got to get to 20, you got to get longer. Just there's more, you can get more meat in the sermon, I guess, if it's a little bit longer. So kind of a happy medium. There's some Christian denominations that will preach for 45 minutes, like that's their normal, or even longer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lutherans are never going to be that way, and one of the reasons why I think Lutheran preaching is shorter is because we do have a more structured worship service with specific elements that we want to include, and especially when there's communion, you kind of have a baseline of like the service is going to be at least this long, and so then you're trying to kind of work backward from that, and like, well, we're not trying to have an hour and a half service every week.
Yeah.
So
some of our Sunday school teachings too, like for the adult class, like here, and I know for my church in Oklahoma, like it was always follow up of like what the scriptures were, and kind of going along with that sermon too.
So and that is an interesting wrinkle. I think if I was the only pastor here, like if we just had one pastor, and then maybe like one or maybe two services, it would be easier to be, well, okay, I just preached it, and then I can kind of do the Bible study on the same text and give you like the deleted scenes or a different angle on the text. But it gets a little bit harder when you have, the person preparing the Bible study, they don't know all the ins and outs of the sermon.
True.
So it could be like a different take on it. But yeah, a lot of times it is the Bible study might provide a deeper, more leisurely walk through the text of the sermon, and you kind of get more like bonus material.
Yeah.
or then the opportunity to ask questions about the text too. So yeah, but that was just kind of a challenge for me, preaching like a normal, like a more typical Lutheran sermon length.
Yeah.
Just because that hasn't been my, I don't know, probably my first couple years here was more like in the 15-minute range, and I don't know what, just you get, I guess you get more seasoned as a pastor and you think you have more to say, whether it's true or not.
Well, I think I did hear a joke about like, oh, service got done at 9:04. It's like, I think that's the earliest.
That was the first service. I think it was a little bit longer than that, but it was. People were probably thinking like, "What, did they forget something? Yeah. What happened? It was less than an hour." Yeah.
Yep. I mean, I was one of those that show was like, "Oh yeah, it's 9:04." I looked at my watch like, "Okay."
I wondered why. Yeah, there was like a lot of applause toward the end. Yeah, maybe that was you. You were leading. Oh, that was the greatest service ever. It was so short.
No, that was Ben Colston.
Ben Colston. Okay.
Yeah, I'll throw him under the bus.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'll have to follow up with him.
Okay. Yeah. All right, question number 3, which I think you talked a little bit about this too, but I want to get your insight to like maybe dive in a little bit more. So, walk me through the choice when you why did you decide to preach from the book of Micah? Is it because it's shorter than Zechariah, Jeremiah? With our crammed services with everything that we had, or is there another reason for that?
Well, I think I've mentioned before to you. I am drawn to the books of the Bible that we don't preach on very often.
I do remember you saying
that.
So
it's kind of fun to do that. So the readings for this week were it was kind of a hodgepodge of readings from 3 different books: Jeremiah, Zechariah, and Micah. And there was a lot of good stuff in the Zechariah passages, but I felt like it was harder to untangle some of the things, and Micah was short and sweet, and that dwelling secure really spoke to me, and I think I can do this. Jeremiah, this is a little bit of a teaser, but there's one of the readings from Jeremiah I'm going to incorporate into my Christmas Eve sermon.
Ooh.
So I thought, well, I'm not gonna use that this week because it's gonna, like 10 days from now, I'm gonna use it again. So,
yeah. Well, actually, 8 days from now.
Well, 8 days from today, as we're recording that. Well, you're making me nervous, man. That sermon's not done yet. Yeah, I've got a few sermons to finish up before.
Well, if it helps, I got the children's message for you.
Oh, thank you. Yes, that will help actually. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I did. Almost kind of by process of elimination, then I was drawn to the Micah, and it is a good text.
Yeah.
And then I got to make some of the lay readers have to pronounce Ephrathah, which is does not roll off the tongue too easily. But that's it. Oh, Bethlehem Ephrathah is that from Micah chapter 5. But I liked the concept of security. Dwelling secure, that kind of security and insecurity, that's not an angle that I usually use, I think, in gospel preaching. But there's different ways. That's the beauty of the gospel. It's so there's different metaphors and different perspectives that you can preach, like law and gospel, and you can, Christ comes and responds to kind of like the whole gamut of ailments or problems that we have in life. And so I had some fun brainstorming. Okay, what does a kind of insecurity and then security gospel preaching sound like? So that got me to Micah. And it'll probably be years before anyone preaches a sermon on Micah again. And it'll probably be the same text, because I don't know, again, there's not that many.
Yeah.
Well, except for Micah 6:8, I guess, that, do mercy or love justice, walk humbly with your God. That's the other like famous Micah verse, Micah 6 verse 8.
I couldn't tell you for sure.
I think I butchered it a little bit, but I know, yeah. But other than that, Micah gets left on the shelf.
Yeah.
So.
All right. For my final question, I think you know what I'm going to ask on that. Jesus, do you love him?
I do love him, and Jesus loves me. This I know.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay. So, can you tell me kind of like, where was Jesus kind of at within your sermon? Like in that, like where he popped up here and here and here?
Yeah, I mean, and this little text is all about Jesus. It's a promise that the Savior is going to come from Bethlehem, and they talk about him as a ruler and a shepherd. And those are, in best case scenario, a shepherd is going to lead you to be secure, right? It's going to keep you safe from the wolves and everything. And really the rulers, the shepherds that Israel had back then, they were like wolves in sheep's clothing. They were not keeping people safe. They were oppressing them, but they were also not keeping them safe spiritually. They were leading them into sin. And so Jesus is going to be this true ruler, this true shepherd that the people have been longing for.
Yeah.
And he's going to come and make them dwell secure. And most of all, I mean, the biggest security threat that we have is our sin. Jesus removes that from us so that we truly can dwell secure. So that most foundational need that we have can be met, and we don't have to worry about our sin anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was that was one thing I was going to try to develop, like a kind of a metaphor of like a good shepherd. Jesus helps us dwell secure, leading us into the sheep pen or something. But that was one of the deleted scenes. So I'll save it for Good Shepherd Sunday.
Okay.
In the season of Easter. But Jesus, I mean, this is one of the, I think if you like searched in Google AI or something, what are the top 10 messianic promises in the Old Testament? I think this one, Micah 5, 2-5.
Okay.
Would be in there. Isaiah probably has most of them, but
yeah.
But this is one that is it's a big one, and then I that's why I used that gospel reading from Matthew 2, because the Magi come and they ask Herod, and then they're like, where was this guy supposed to be born? And then they consult the experts on the scriptures,
the stars, yeah,
and they say, well, it says in Micah that he was to be born in Bethlehem. So then they start heading to Bethlehem, and then the star confirms, Yeah. Although, well, we don't have to get into that. Was Jesus in Bethlehem or was he in Nazareth when the Magi came?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it. It's not so much the where was he, but it says that they came to the house.
Yes.
And then that gets I think most people would say it was probably Jesus was not a newborn when the Magi came.
Yeah.
But we'll leave that's a podcast for a different time, probably.
That is, and that's for what Sunday is that? Like,
Epiphany.
That. Yeah, that's
usually, depending on kind of where.
Then.
Yeah, where Epiphany falls. Yeah, if it falls like close to a Sunday or not. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, that is all the questions I have about your sermon. Is there anything else you want to add before we move on?
I don't know. I could try to delay things, but let's just get on with the next question.
All right, that sounds good. All right, now we move on to the deer in the headlights question. So very recently we released a video of Bad Movie Descriptions Christmas Edition Part 2. Now, if you have not seen it, this is a spoiler alert, so I will give you some time to leave the podcast in 3, 2, 1. All right, now here is the question. Well, I should have said question. I want to say something before that. So now, Pastor Smith, or known as the Jingle Jets, has maintained his crown of being a Christmas movie expert. And so congrats on that win, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Even though one of the other contestants is still claiming that it was rigged for some reason. I don't know why. But like you enjoy Christmas movies, it sounds like, right?
I
you
do.
Got a lot of those.
I do love Christmas movies.
Even though you have some that you never saw, but you need to add those to your list.
I need to work on that. Yeah.
So here's my question for you: out of all the movies that we listed in that video, which one would you want to be a minor character in, not a major character in that?
A minor character.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw you a curveball on that one. Unless you want to pick minor, or unless you want to pick major. I'll let you do that one as well.
Do I have to say the specific character?
You could just talk about it, like who he was, or or what movie he was in.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember for sure. I feel like
you could say even you want to be Santa Claus.
Well,
because he was a minor character in that movie.
Well, because that is, if it's not my favorite Christmas movie, it's right up there. It
doesn't have to be
the Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
Oh yeah.
I love that one, and it is such a. I think the way that the North Pole is depicted, it's such a fun atmosphere and fun place. So I think, it's kind of an easy one. I would just want to be one of the elves.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, if you had to pick, I don't know,
Oh, so if that was your minor, then who?
I mean, is Bernard a minor enough character? I don't know. He might be too major, I guess.
I'd say he'd be major, but I'm gonna let you pick both minor and major because that's a hard question, actually.
Ooh, what about what's that special force of the elves called?
Oh, is it?
Or is it just called ELFS or something like that?
Yes, it is.
I think that would be like the special ops. One of the special ops.
Oh yeah, they had the jetpacks.
Yes,
and the unbreakable garland.
Yes, what do they say, tinsel? Not just for I forget what.
Not just for decorating.
Not just for decorating. Yeah, I was going to say I mean, you get to drink Judy's perfected hot chocolate recipe. Get to I think I'd be one of those special forces elves that get to break out Santa Claus from jail. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's a good answer. I never would have thought of that.
Yeah. I'm running through. I wouldn't want to be in Die Hard 2. I know that.
No.
I want to stay far away from those movies.
Probably not Nightmare Before Christmas.
Not Nightmare Before. Yeah. What?
Or Gremlins.
Yeah. Maybe probably not. Yeah. I think I'm solid on that Santa Claus one.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a really good answer. I don't think I would have thought of that one. I was just thinking I would have been one of the kids from the Polar Express. It's no, yours is way better.
That is a good one too. Yeah. Oh yeah. Also good hot chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't. Is it good though, or is it just? I don't know. I guess the kids really enjoyed it.
I don't know. I mean, it's
probably not as good as Judy's.
Probably not. Yeah. Even the worst cup of hot chocolate though is pretty good,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true too. Can't go wrong with it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is our show for today. Thank you, Pastor, for coming on the podcast Beyond the Sermon. Next week, I will have Pastor Josh with me.
No, actually, it's me.
Oh, is it?
It is, yeah.
We're
Throwing you off. We're throwing you off because he preached twice in a row, and then now I'm preaching twice in a row.
Okay. Well, never mind then.
Yeah, so then you're gonna have to do the same little shtick with Pastor Josh the next time. Like, oh, it's been a while.
I will. It will be after the new year.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Okay. Well, good to know. Okay. Well,
I can trade with him. Yeah. That's fine. It would lighten my load. I'll tell him he's preaching.
So, Pastor Josh, if you reject it, please say something right now. And the door is still closed, so okay.
He's on the hook, yeah.
Yep. I am your host, Michael Sinn, and have a great rest of your day, everybody. Goodbye.